Today we're going to do this 3D rose flower, very intricate and very pretty. So let's get going. Okay, so today we're going to do the 3D roses. There are two different ways to do these. Well, there's probably more. Like anything in nails, there are different ways to do it, like the marbling technique. There are plenty of ways. So I'm going to show you this way. And it is more 3D, and you can make these ahead of time of your client coming. So this backing paper is just from forms, so for when you're sculpting. So that's what I'm using, and I'm going to be working on top of. So I've just got my small 3D acrylic brush again, and some red for a rose. Whoops. I've laid some kitchen roll underneath to absorb, and then I've just got my monomer. So we're going to start by creating the centre of the rose. So just pick your bead up as normal, and then we're going to make it into a rectangle. Now you're going to create all your petals on here, and you're going to build the flower up. So it's not done on the nail. You can do on the nail, but I find this a good way because you can create them before your client comes. I'm just patting this into a rectangle. And like before, when we created the other 3D flower, we're going to wait for it to dry off a little bit, and then we're going to roll it this time before we work with it. So I am going to keep this in real time because I want you to see how long it took for mine to set. So like I say, this is something you can create at home or while you're quiet, and then just have a little tub of your flowers that you've created. It's not as warm in here today. It's really early in the morning that I'm recording this, so the salon is just open, so it's just warming up. So I'm just going to wait for this to set a little bit more. And then I'm just going to shimmy this under and just start to lift it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys and roll it. And this is going to be the centre of your flower. So I'm keeping this down. So it's almost like an ice cream cone. Yeah. So now I'm just going to take some clear, and I really need to use the same brand so I'm not switching monomers. Clear. And just pick a bead of, clear my brush because it's got red in it. Pick a bead, clear up, So you're going to pick up your clear bead. Ooh, not that way. And then we're going to put this centre piece onto it. It's almost like we're going to use this clear as a little glue, if you like. So it's fiddly, guys, just is. I know some people that'll start with the bigger flowers, petals, sorry, and work their way to the centre. I give it a go if you find this harder. I personally have to work from the centre out. I just struggle with the other way. So because I'm working with the centre out, I'm going to go for my smallest petals first. So we're just gonna shimmy these off. So wiggle your brush underneath them, pop a slight bit of monomer on if needed, and then just gonna wrap them into that clear acrylic. If you need to pick some more up, there's your little bit of glue, and you can go ahead and do that. And I think Rosie's eyes tighter in the centre. I think I need to zoom in on this so you guys can see a bit better. Ooh. I used red on purpose so that you could see, because you can't see with the white, and then I feel like it's slightly not as clear. Try again. So just loosen the next one. Lift it up, and then I'm just going to pick a bead of clear and just gently put that around here where I feel like I want my petal to go. And then you're just going to manipulate that petal. Salon fun. And just play and put it where you want it to go. I'm just going to add a little bit of clear. This is not for everyone, and this is you know, I have done this on clients. I pre-made some for a wedding and charged appropriately because they are intricate. And I've did them for a competition nails. So next petal, I feel like we've not really got one that's, next ones feel a bit too big, so I'm just gonna make another. Guys, I don't try and do this with glitter acrylic, it just don't work because the petals are so small. The glitter just doesn't give the strength that you need, because glitter particles are, you know, although they're small, they're not small enough for this. So you could add shimmer and things onto to the flower if you wanted to have it a bit shimmery. It's too wet. Zoom out a little bit. So you know, like the just looking at my drawer to see what we could, you know, like the mirror pigment that was used a while ago, you could brush something like that on. But yeah, like glitter particles, they're just too big. So if you look like even these really fine ones in one of those tiny little petals, it's just gonna compromise the structure. So just, oh, too dry guys, too dry. Just gonna push the petals out. And you do want to have some brush strokes in them because that's what's gonna, you know, give some definition to your flower, to your rose. So now you're just going to start adding all the little petals around the flower using your clear acrylic or red, and making sure there's no little gaps like there is in this top left of this flower. If there is a little gap, then you just need to push it in tighter so that it seals properly. So I'm just going to speed this up and you can watch me put it together.
Love is on my mind. Just come a little closer. Don't overthink too much. The music's taking over. I wanna feel your touch. No need to be afraid. You know you got me. Whatever happens, happens. Just take a chance on me. I never knew it would come true. It all feels new now that I found you. I never knew it would come true. It all feels new now that I found you. Now that I found you.
So this is one that I've created already and I have in my box, and I just put clear acrylic on the bottom to affix it to the nail. And I just keep them in here with my gems so they're ready to go, and I have a few different colours. So I'm going to start with the design for this nail now, and I'm using the Lee brush, which is my gel brush, because I'm going to ombre with Queen of Darkness black gel and the lovely red, which is Poison Apple. So I'm just applying the Poison Apple. Guys, we've done this ombre so many times now, you're experts at this. And then I'm going to pop on some black from the top and blend them together. Black and red are one of the hardest colour combinations to ombre, so make sure you don't have too much black because it will just overpower the ombre and it'll just turn into a mushy dark mess. So I'm going to wipe my brush now, so there's far too much on there, and then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of red and start going sideward swoops into this. I'm brush stroking really fast to blend those colours in together, and I'm not going too far up and down with this. I want it to stay in that third of the nail. Just coming in with a bit more red to get good coverage, and then back in again with the ombre. Just a small amount of black. See how much I need to wipe my brush, there's far too much on there, and blend it into this red. And then when you're happy with your blend, cure it, and if you're ready to go you can top coat it and then add your flower or you can add your flower and top coat around it, depending if you're putting more art on. So I've cured this and top coat this. I'm going to remove that sticky layer. And then using my clear acrylic, I'm going to fix the flower that we've just put on. I'm only putting one on today. You can put as many as you want on. I don't really like them near the free edge. I feel like they're too heavy. I like them to be on the actual nail plate and closer to the cuticle. So my clear acrylic, not too wet but not too dry, and decide where you're going to place it. This is a big flower, so you have to bear in mind the curve of this nail, and the flower is obviously set. I'll push it on and leave that to set. If you need to, you can go in with your brush and add some more acrylic around it. It's just under here like this. And now I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of art. So I'm using Snow White art gel, and I'm just going to use the dotting tool for this. Then I'm popping that into Cure, and if you want to cover that nail art with a top coat, you can go ahead and do that. I want it textured, and that is my finished 3D rose design. So have fun, and I can't wait to see your version. Bye!